Save game review. Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video where we're back with another save game review where I pretty much review your save games, and I do have a couple of spicy ones for you right here. We got a Brandenburg to Prussia to Germany campaign, we got a Hungary campaign, and we got an Andalusia campaign. So those are the three that we're gonna check out for you guys today. And after taking into account your tips in the comments below, we will be checking out the timeline for these saves from now on as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into our first save game right here. Like I said, a Brandenburg to Prussia to Germany campaign by Lex Midnight. He did not tell us what his goals are, and the date is May 1st, 1712. So let's jump into the save game. Alright, here we are in this Germany campaign, and obviously right away we can see that this is a massive Germany. If we go into the Diplo tab right here, bruh, this guy owns pretty much half of the world, and he's got about 100 years to do a world conquest, and if he hurries it up a little bit, I think it's definitely possible. But pretty much all of Europe owned by Germany. We got Russia and Sweden as junior partners. We got Kievas right here and Central Doab as client states. This may be some governing capacity issues, and pretty much the entirety of the Americas and Australia and a little bit of Indonesia right here is owned by him as well. Provinces in Africa as well, snaking in Asia. I guess this is pretty much preparing his conquest in India and China and stuff like that. So that is a really strong start right here, even though this isn't stated for some reason. We'll get into specifics later. Let's start off with the timeline right here. Obviously this is a Brandenburg Prussia Germany campaign. Let's go fast right here. We can see the expansion. Okay, got some provinces over here, and by the way, at this point this player may have subjects. This of course isn't shown on there, but of course a slow expansion in the early portion of the campaign. There we go, Brandenburg growing into the Teutonic Order. We got some expansion over in northern Germany, as we can see. Ooh, he got the Burgundian inheritance. That's very nice right there. Okay, slow and steady, still the 1500. This is pretty good conquest for about this date right here. This is pretty fast, I would say myself. There we go, Austria is blobbing here as well. There we go, there's Prussia formed, and this is the expansion. Some tiny guys made Bohemia pop out some guys. There we go, still we got some expansion right here. Still not at admin tech 20 probably. At this point, forming Germany should be possible. Let's see when that happens exactly, and I'm gonna hurry it up a bit here. There we go, we got Norway probably as a junior partner expansion. Russia probably a junior partner at this point as well. Do we got colonies? We do have colonies, so I guess he took exploration expansion. Maybe Portugal is a junior partner or something like that, maybe stealing colonies. Very nice expansion right here, blobbing out rapidly. There we go, taking out huge chunks of England, of Spain, expanding over here. We can see the snake over in India, and yeah, what is this? Yeah, it's not really like that, but there we go. Let's jump out of the timeline and go into the intricacies. Going on to the Great Powers list, we can see that he just formed Germany. Apparently a month hasn't ticked over yet. That's why it's like this. I think about 14,000, 15,000 dev over here. Not a hegemony of any type, although he can become an economic one, so a little minus points right there. Honestly, not really a big deal. Running level 5 advisors, that's excellent. Lots of accepted and promoted cultures, militarization to the max. He's a Kaiserreich, obviously an empire. Going into the diplomacy tab right here, we can see all of these colonies right here, which is excellent. The junior partners, the client states, so everything is good right here. Even an alliance going with Korea for some reason, not really needed. And he still has a valid rival, which is the Ottomans. Not really, of course, because he has beaten up the Ottomans quite a lot. Obviously Protestant, we'll get into that later. Going into the economy tab, making a ton of money, as we can see. Nice income from trade, nice income from production. Could be a little higher, but let's not get into that too much. Lots of income from gold, okay-ish income from tariffs. Nobody really cares about this, let's be real here, so no minus points for that. All of this right here is looking really good, but obviously, you know, his surplus is quite a lot, so he could be, you know, scaling even more rapidly. We'll get to the armies pretty soon. In the trade tab, 63% of our income comes from trade, which is really good. Of course, that is down to the colonies right here. And we got 35% goods produced. I don't know if coal mines have spawned yet. I don't think so, but that is pretty decent as well. We'll take everything here. Trade ahead of time in every single tech. 100 innovativeness, super strong. Let's get into the ideas here. Starting off with innovative quality. Obviously, you know, leaning into the whole Prussian Space Marines thing, at least for the first idea groups, but then he took admin. Obviously governing cap is a limiter, influence due to all the subjects and colonies and stuff like that, and then religious and diplo. So decent idea group picks. I don't know about the order. The order is kind of iffy, but you know, honestly nothing really too bad right here. Obviously he did not go exploration expansion. This is through his subjects or whatever conquered. Maybe he had Portugal as a junior partner. I kind of missed that in the timeline, but everything is legit here. Some weirdish idea group picks. See only one mill one, didn't lean into the army too much. Obviously this is you know, single player. You don't need really strong armies unless you're leaning into that whole thing, but everything is good right here. German missions mostly done. Going into the decisions, nice policies right here, some combat modifiers and some diplo modifiers. Perfect right there. Nothing much to see here. He is over GovCap, so we'll get to see if he has been building courthouses, but that's why we have client states right here, like I assumed earlier. And he just got done in a war versus the Ottomans. These are Ottoman provinces. In the religion tab, we can see that he's Protestant. Really nice missionary strength right here, converting really fast. As we can see, everything takes very little time to convert, and if we go into that map mode as well, we can see that he has been converting quite rapidly, you know, maybe even converting before coring, which is definitely sometimes a strategy. Yeah, as we can see, that's exactly what's going on. So he's converting the religion of the provinces before he cores them, you know, to avoid the rebels and stuff like that. Very high professionalism, really nice combat modifiers right here, insane generals. As we can see, very nice force limit. Armies could be even more massive. Nice naval force limit too, good discipline, good defensiveness, a very nice army tradition. So really nice run here so far. These are the subjects. Everyone is loyal, of course, the junior partners, the client states, and the colonies. And then into the estates, nothing we can really see right here, but obviously, you know, due to this crownland, max absolutism is 120, so you can afford to give these guys some privileges as well to make more, but do you even need that by now? So a couple of minor nitpicks I have here and there, but really nothing horrible, you know, from what I can see. Next, let's go on into the buildings tab and see if this player has been focusing on the economy. Let's take a look at the marketplaces. Marketplaces legit. Any upgrades? Decent upgrades. No stock exchanges. I don't think so. At least not in a lot of places from what I can tell. So a little minus on the trade buildings right here. Let's take a look at the courthouses. So yeah, obviously this is full of courthouses. Has he been upgrading them? Yes, upgrades have been done. So yeah, still struggling with GovCap, by the way. Workshops are decent. Counting houses, not really that much upgrades, mostly over here. Churches, not really too relevant. Let's take a look at the manufactories. Manufactories are full. Furnaces still haven't spawned yet. Training fields, conscription centers, some of that as well. So decent building setup with a little bit of lack of focus on marketplaces, but nothing too much to nitpick. What I can see from the trade setup here is that it is pretty decent, collecting in a couple of places, obviously in the end nodes as well. But listen, from with this sort of income share coming in from trade, I really don't have anything to complain about here. Force limit, actually combat width is 38, so this is not really that good unless he's splitting the armies or buffing them up right now. Ideally here you'd have a little bit above, you know, infantry above combat width and the same amount of artillery at this point in the game. So unless he's splitting these stacks, but even then, you know, he'd have to merge quite a lot. So army composition, not that good. I do have to say, army composition, not that good. Oh, there he is. Actually, he is building counting houses. So yeah, those are the workshops, so definitely focusing on buildings as well. Now, getting to the map right here, obviously can't really fault this player for border gore too much, because the goal right now seems to be to expand in as many places as possible. Maybe the goal is a world conquest right here, so, you know, I'm not gonna nitpick on clean borders right here when you have obvious snaking in order to get to a different region right here, which is, you know, obviously something that you have to do to expand this much. Once again, a minus for the not claiming hegemony. Some great projects can be upgraded. Obviously, this player is using his money quite a lot. Even though the surplus is so massive, we can see that he's pretty low on the treasury, so he's always using the money to build up the armies, build up buildings, as we can see right here. So everything right there is pretty straightforward. Going into the states right here, obviously you'd want to state some of these other German states here especially, but yeah, stating the gold mines, obviously. Really the thing that's limiting this player right here is the governing capacity. So not really he can do to get you know, a whole lot around it, because he is a Prussian monarchy government reform. He will want to possibly swap out of that due to the GovCap if you're not leaning too much into the whole mill thing, but you know, it is what it is. Curtail noble privileges, okay for the Junkers influence because they are quite influential representatives. Obviously for the subjects, that's pretty good. Maintain balance of power, decent for the diplomats. This is a good one, a semi-unique one right here. Royal decree, obviously pretty good. Meritocratic, dope. Embrace the economic theory, dope. Machiavellian reign is sort of weird. I guess it's for the plus max absolutism, but he doesn't really need it, judging off the plus 120 we have. Regional representation is good, and then he can take whatever he wants for his tier 11 government reform. So a really nice run of Brandenburg, Prussia to Germany right here by Lex Midnight. And even though I did have a couple of negative comments, those are really just nitpicks in what obviously seems to be a very strong campaign. So this run for me gets a 5. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Alright, so our next campaign right here is a Hungary campaign in 1586, so probably the earliest one we've had so far. Only about 130, 140 years have passed, and this campaign is by Arnest, so I definitely am excited to see a more early game campaign and to tell this player more on how can he improve if he can at all. So yeah, Hungary, March 21st, 1586. Let's jump in. Alright, here we are in our Hungary campaign, and obviously right off the bat we can see a very big Hungary, which is actually excellent. I am really liking this, but hold up, I immediately notice a little problem right here, and I do not think this is the fault of the player, because Lithuania is actually independent and not his junior partner. And if we click on them, we can see that they have this dynasty, which obviously means right at the start Poland did not take Lithuania as a junior partner. Pretty unfortunate for this player right here. You know, obviously he could have alt F4, but maybe he already got a really good setup going as Hungary, so he didn't want to. But before we go ahead and nitpick everything, let's go ahead and jump into the timeline right here. We're gonna go with fast speed, and let's see his first expansion. Where did it come from? Okay, pushing into Serbia, as we can see. Maybe he's PU'd, you know, Bohemia, Hungary at this point. Maybe that's where he's focusing. A little more expansion into Serbia right here. There we go. He fought Bohemia to get Silesia, which is obviously the way you start off. Annexed Hungary, and there we go. We just got the Burgundian succession, which is really nice. Fighting Venice a little bit. Albania has expanded over here. Now they've just shrunk. There we go, expanding into Bosnia right here. Bulgaria and Biz have been popped out, which means a war with the Ottomans has been done. Reconquer Bulgaria scores just like that. Let's see if he takes back Byzantium scores pretty soon. Poland might be a pew by this point. There we go, a little more growing for Byzantium. And yeah, that's pretty much what's going on right now. And there we go, now he owns the entirety of the Balkans, and expanding a little bit over here as well, which is not something you really expect too much. That's where his focus seems to have been. There we go, pushing Byzantium into this way. Obviously, you know, he's got Egypt and Jerusalem by this point as well, and just annexed Bohemia. So that's a pretty good 100-ish years for this Hungary campaign. All right, but now let's definitely go ahead and start nitpicking, starting off with the Great Power rank right here. We can see that he is #1 on the Great Powers list, which is actually excellent. Almost 2k dev right there. Nothing more I can say about that. Jumping into here, into the court tab, running level 3 advisors, pretty good. I'm satisfied with that. In the government tab, a couple of, you know, lots of cultures promoted, as we can see, along with the cultures accepted. Of course, you know, the Carpathian culture group is pretty weak, so you are going to be promoting a lot of cultures, as we can see. In the diplomacy tab, we can see that he has a ton of allies right here, and maybe he is a part of the HRE. He is, and he is the HRE Emperor, which is actually a really good bonus right here. Byzantium and Jerusalem are vassals, and Poland is a junior partner. Like I said, a little minus on the not getting Lithuania, but I don't think that was his fault. Going into the economy tab right here, we can actually see that the economy is pretty weak for this point in the game. Let's see what happens if you max out root out corruption. So obviously, as Hungary, you know, you are lacking a little bit in trade over here, but he does have decent income in taxation and production, but and pretty decent income from gold. Still hasn't devved up Egger, as we can see, but yeah, weak income from trade, although that really can't be mitigated at this point in the game. So, you know, this could be bumped up a little bit more. Of course, maybe not. We'll take a look at the buildings as well. Nothing much to see right here. He does have a little bit of good produce. In the tech department, he is way ahead of time in every single department, and he has Diplo, Aristo, Offensive, Economic. Really good idea group pick for Hungary right here. Aristo, of course, is definitely needed. Kind of weird that he went to 2 mill idea groups in a row. You know, I'd probably go Aristo, Diplo, Offensive, Economic, or Diplo, Aristo, Economic, Offensive, but that's just personal preference. You know, if you got the points, you got the points. In the missions tab, we can actually see that he does not have Austria as a junior partner by this point, which I would expect to have been done. You know, usually in the first 50 or 60 years, you can get that done as Hungary. So a little minus on the not getting Austria right there, but everything else seems to be totally in order, aside from not getting Austria from this mission tree. He's got nice policies right here. Nothing I can say about that. Almost at gov cap. Lots of disasters getting ready to fire, as we can see. In the religion tab, he has a state Catholic. Obviously, you would do that as the HRE Emperor, and we will check if he has past reforms and stuff like that. But a really good religious unity, because Hungary has this amazing national idea right here, so you don't need humanist or religious as Hungary. In the mill tab, he is over force limit. Pretty good army tradition, decent discipline, good morale and stuff like that. Combat with 29 right now, and his armies are not very good unless he has split them, but I think these are named, so he hasn't split them. Minus definitely right here on the army composition. By this point, as Hungary, with this combat width, you'd probably want to run like 12k cav or something like that. So yeah, definitely unless he's splitting these armies, the composition is not good right there. In the subjects tab, Poland, Jerusalem, Biz, obviously, and in the estates, pretty good estate setup right there. So yeah, definitely a minus on the army composition and on the not getting Austria so far, and on not getting Lithuania, although like I said, I don't know how much I can fall for that. Either way, going into the buildings right here, let's take a look at the marketplaces. Obviously, they've been built in all the relevant provinces. As we can see, courthouses definitely need to build up a lot more of those, since you're at GovCap here. Workshops, great churches as well. Any army buildings, decent. Some manufactories as well, quite a lot in Poland too, so we're good right here as well. And yeah, building setup looks pretty good. Just build up more courthouses, that's all I can say about that. As for the border goal right here, borders don't look too messed up. Pretty neat right here in this region as well. Obviously, we'll be annexing Biz pretty soon right here, Jerusalem eventually as well, unless you want to do some roleplay and stuff like that. Obviously, his expansion goals are over here since he has started expanding, although I did see a little bit of growth in the Netherlands, France, and Germany right here. But of course, this is pretty tough, although maybe not that much when you're the HRE Emperor, so he'd probably want to push into France if that is his goal, of course. As we can see, these are all the accepted cultures, definitely going with the right ones right here. You know, you'd probably want to get Czech as well. Culture converting over here and over here has been done as well. And let's go into the HRE tab to check it out right here. So he has sort of been passing reforms. Everyone is voting for him. Poland is an elector. That's not something you see every day. Poland is actually in the HRE. You usually give this to small guys, but can't fault him right there. And maybe he won't be focusing on passing reforms too much since the Reformation has spawned, and since that will cause a little bit of trouble. You're extra with papal points right here, so you probably want to go with this right there. And everything else right there is good. Borders are nice. Religious conversion is decent, although like I said, as Hungary, you don't even need to do religious conversion. Let's go on into government reforms right here. He is an elective monarchy. I'm guessing he's doing this in order to you know, try and get as many PUs as possible, although I do not see any extra PUs, so we'll see what that's all about. Curtail noble privileges, you know, I don't know if I'd go with that as Hungary. Decentralized bureaucracy for the max promoted cultures, obviously. Maintain balance of power, sure, but if you're the emperor, you might want to go lance for the church to have good relations with the Pope. Organized military staff is good. Aristocratic court is excellent. Meritocratic is dope, and everything is good right here. So really, the only negative points I can give right here is the army composition, the not getting Austria, and the lack of courthouses. And by this point, as Hungary, maybe you would have expanded a little more into the Ottomans. I feel like maybe you don't a little bit of this, but obviously he has pushed quite a lot in here. I don't know if this was taken from the Ottomans or the Mamluks. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think the Ottomans expanded over here at all, so maybe you'd have pushed into the Ottomans a little bit. So overall, a really strong campaign from Hungary right here in about 150-ish years. You know, to continue this run, if you're still doing it, and if you're still at this point, which I doubt, since it's been posted like 2 months ago, definitely build up more courthouses. Go ahead and PU Austria. Go ahead and expand some more over here, and try and get some more PUs with that elective monarchy. So even though the negative things I said aren't too negative, I still don't think I can give this campaign a 5, especially for the army composition if he's not merging these armies, and for the no Austria PU. And you know what, I am gonna give a little bit of negative points for the no Lithuania PU. I honestly would have Alt F4 right here in order for Poland to get Lithuania. So yeah, with all that said, really good campaign with Hungary right here. I'm sort of stuck in between a 4 and a 5 right here for the rating, and I haven't given a 0.5 rating so far, but I feel like this definitely warrants that. So this campaign gets a 4.5 from me. Let's move on with the next one. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into our final save game for today, which is going to be an Andalusia run in 1669 by Bulbasaur. Once again, this player did not state the goal. We don't know who he started with. Was it Granada? Was it some of the Maghrebi guys? But yeah, let's go ahead and check it out and see what this player has done in about 200 years. Alright, here we are in our little Andalusia run, and right away I can notice some real border gore. Going into the coalition map mode right here, where you can clearly see the borders. This is what he owns. Obviously, this player owns all of Iberia, which is really nice. But then again, going over into the Maghreb region right off the bat, we can see no expansion in Morocco here, in Tunis. What's up with this? I guess this is a no CB over in the Baltics. Some provinces owned in Africa, snaking down here. Colonization, I guess, is being done. I like the colonial Andalusia run, don't get me wrong, but very weird. Okay, we're gonna jump into the nitpicks pretty soon right here, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the timeline right here. I think this player started off as Granada, so let's go ahead and do this. Okay, right away expansion into Tlemcen. That's, you know, the typical opening. Then fighting Portugal really early. That's really nice right there. Fighting Aragon as well. Pretty good expansion. There goes Castile. So he owns about a little less than half of Iberia right here. Let's see, has colonization started? I don't think so, not yet. So slow and steady expansion for now. I don't really see. Oh, there we go. Pushing into Morocco a little bit more, and colonies are starting to be established. Fighting the Mamluks right here. A province in Italy, another province in Italy. Colonization is going slow-ish, I guess. Not really sure at this point. Timeline doesn't really show that as it should. Some more expansion into Egypt, pushing through Arabia right here. Let's see when that no CB in the Baltics comes, but not a lot of focus on expanding. Let me just pause it right here. It's been about 100 years, very little expansion over in Iberia. Maybe the alliances didn't permit, I'll give you that, but there's no reason not to expand into Morocco and into Tunis. Let's go ahead and get back into the timeline right here. We got about 100 more years left to go. Colonization has really started. We got the Caribbean, Brazil, Argentina right here. Some more expansion in Arabia, a little bit of expansion over in Italy, some more expansion over in Iberia. Maybe Navarra is a subject. We got Algiers right here. Could be a reconquest right there. And yeah, there's Castile. I guess Navarra probably is his subject. More colonization, more growing in Persia and in India right here, along with Australia and stuff like that. There we go. Castile has almost been gobbled up. And as we near our date right here, we can see that Castile is pretty much going away. We've seen that no CB right here, expansion into the Baltics as well, possibly an OCB, and that's where we arrive. But yeah, jumping back in here, let's see why things are as they are. And okay, first up, what's with the counter-espionage on Vij? All right, we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, going into the Great Powers rank right here, we can see that he is number 3 on the Great Power rank. Well, technically number 1, but he doesn't have an institution embraced. Let's go ahead and go into the court right here. Level 133 advisors. Okay, you know what? We got the Nasrids here. This is a pretty good ruler, I guess. Yeah, not really too many complaints here. 1 promoted culture, the rest are accepted. Definitely want to promote Egyptian if we're expanding over here, of course, as long as it's stated. Going over into the diplomacy tab, we can see that it is like to Bohemia, Russia, Tunis, Ethiopia, Ajuran, Bengal, and Delhi. Now, I can see Bengal and Delhi, maybe because you want to expand into Vij, but why Ethiopia? Maybe because he was fighting the Mamluks, but why now Ethiopia? Why Tunis? Why no Ottomans? Why Ajuran? Yeah, Russia and Bohemia, maybe to help with these guys right here, getting coalition by the Commonwealth. And he does have Kiev, Syria, Algiers, Bahmanis, which is an opium Bahmanis, lots of reconquest there, and an opium Jaunpur as well. So good subjects, weird alliances, and definitely we can take a look at the colonial nations right here. Albarazil, I don't know if that's a default name. Castile and Peru and La Plata, I guess he stole those. Al-Mahik. Okay, some decent expansion over here as well. But yeah, what's up with the alliances? In the economy tab, income is pretty good. Lots of income from gold as well. A lot of income from trade, making nice money. No real complaints right here. 40-ish% from trade. Yeah, that should go up as soon as, you know, more colonies and trade companies get established right here. A little bit of goods produced. In the tech department, he is behind in Diplo. I guess he was doing a Diplo idea group, but this is pretty good as well. And he's went exploration, expansion. Okay, pretty good for a colonial Andalusia run. Religious offensive influence. Yeah, idea group picks are pretty good, man. I don't have anything bad to say about this. Missions, most have been accomplished right here. Going into the decisions, decent policies right here. What's this? Yes. Oh, okay. Instability and expansion. He is over GovCap. Lots of our players today struggling with GovCap. Nothing else to see right here. In the religion tab, he is doing converting. He's Shia. I guess that's why he expanded here. Yeah, Andalusia. Alrighty then. I didn't think we'd see that, but there we go. A weird pick right here. Honestly, I'm liking it. I'm liking Shia Andalusia. In the military tab, yeah, need to build that army up. Everything else is looking pretty standard right there. Army composition is once again subpar unless he's splitting armies. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this. Like 21-5, that's not even force limit. Low number of artillery. All of our players today with not very good army composition. In the subjects tab, we can see that he has lots of trade companies, lots of subjects. Everything is good right there. And in the estate setup, everything is pretty standard over here as well. So, yeah, man, the really not that good expansion focus right here. Let's go into the building, see what's up with that. Marketplaces, legit. You know, trade depots, legit. Workshops, legit. Courthouses, wow. See, there's your problem. There's your problem. Look at this. Over GovCap, not a single freaking courthouse built. One right here, but I'm guessing Portugal built that or something like that. Yeah, definitely need to get the courthouses up stat. You even have town halls unlocked, dude. Come on. Or, well, almost. Workshops, yeah, a low number of workshops as well. You definitely want to get a lot more of these, dude. Look at all of this income that can be made right here. A low number of army buildings, no mosques. Let's take a look at the churches, decent churches. So, yeah, going into the manufactories, low number of manufactories as well. Yeah, this is a problem right here. No governing capacity buildings, no workshops, and no manufactories. So, definitely a minus right there as well. Now, going over into the you know, the knit and grit right here, the map. What's up with this conquest? What are the goals? You know, if I had known your goals, maybe I'd be a little less harsh right here, but there is no reason in 1670 almost, when playing as Andalusia for Morocco and Tunis, to exist, for you to be allied with Ethiopia and Ajuran. There's really no point in expanding over here as Andalusia, I guess, if you're not going for Africa. But yeah, going this way, maybe for India, for the trade. Maybe he's going for a colonial game strictly. But even if you're going for a strictly colonial game, man, you definitely want to own all of Safi and Tunis, pretty much all of the Maghreb. So I don't know why he's not allied to the Ottomans, so he can make the Ottomans break alliances with other guys, and then so you can expand over here. I really don't know what's up with this. It's definitely funny. I'll give you points for probably Nossi being over here and converting stuff to Shia, but yeah, man, definitely some bad alliances right here. I can get these right here to help you out with wars, but you know, if you've already dealt with the Mamluks, you don't need these guys right here. So yeah, definitely a big minus on not expanding in you know, in the Maghreb, and for slow expansion in Iberia, and you'd probably be able to own more of Italy by this point as well. Aside from that, you know, this right here is good. Establishing trade companies, gonna push into that further. Colonization here is going good. Going for India, that's great. You know, the colonies right here are good too. It's just I'm really not satisfied with this. So definitely a minus on buildings, a minus on not expanding in the Maghreb, a minus on the army composition as well. The merchant setup looks pretty good. Going over into the government reforms, he is an Ikta, obviously. That's, you know, definitely what you want to be as a Shia nation, especially. Curtail, all of our players going with Curtail today. How influential are the nobles? They're not that influential, bro. I think all of our players could have gone strengthen or compromise today. Exile colonial companies, good for a colonial gameplay. You'd probably want to strengthen the Ulama if you're going Shia, honestly. No reason to go expand, you know, temple rights. You want to get the conversions up stat. Meritocratic recruitment is good, although you could go with Volunteers of the Faith. This is a really strong right here for the type of playthrough. Aristocratic is good. Empower the Burghers is good. This one is, what was the 6 levers of the Republic? Has he taken it? None of these have been picked, actually. Or, well, they're not highlighted for me. Actually, I don't even have 6 levers of the Republic right here. Maybe that's some save game mess up thing. But, yeah, overall, this is pretty good as well. So, yeah, man, with all of that taken into account for this Andalusia run, even if the focus is strictly colonial and trade company-ish right here for this campaign, definitely minuses on the buildings, on the expansion over in the Maghreb, and on the army composition by this point in the game by 1670. And with that, I'm feeling 3.5 for this campaign. And that has been our final save game for today. So yeah, boys, those have been our 3 save games for today. Next time, we're going to jump back in with this Italy campaign, and along with 2 other ones that I haven't added yet. But yeah, let me know your opinion on the campaigns today. Was I too harsh? Was I not harsh enough? And as always, you know, my opinion isn't the law or anything. That's just according to my playstyle. That's how I review these campaigns. So even if I say that something is bad, it may not be objectively bad. And even if I say something is good, it may not be objectively good. So yeah, definitely let me know what you thought about these campaigns that we went through today. We'll check out some more next time. And of course, if you want your campaign reviewed, make sure to join the Discord and post them in the Save Games for Vid channel. And hopefully, eventually, I'll get to them if I don't wipe everything once 136 comes out and we start with a whole new batch. But yeah, that's been it for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to leave a like. It really helps out a lot. And if you like the content and want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of them. And you can become a member today and join the Discord. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with another EU4 video.